When you are out there in the world, how often do you come across an employee that you wish you could hire away to come and work for you? Or maybe it's one of your own employees, the kind that you wish you could clone and build an entire company around. Now, I just so happened to meet one of those employees on a recent trip to upstate New York. Now, I was in town to give a presentation at a technology conference and decided to stop by Syracuse University to walk around the campus and go check out the football stadium since I'm a big fan of college football. Now, this was a school day, and so I was trying to find a place that I could park so I could get out and walk around and explore for a while without getting towed or ticketed. And multiple people, when I asked where I could go, told me you need to go to this other certain garage and go see this guy, Cantrell. He'll take care of you. So sure enough, I pull up to this garage and Cantrell is working there that day. Now immediately, this guy is friendly, welcoming, big smile on his face. Now I told him I just wanted to go walk around the campus for a little bit, wanted to go check out the stadium, and that I was going to be wearing my Florida State beanie as I walked around out there because it was very cold that day. But because Syracuse is in our Atlantic Coast Conference and we play against them, I wanted to rep my Florida State Seminoles while I was there. Now, he kind of gave me a shocked expression, and then he starts to laugh. And he said, no, man, I'm going to get you a Syracuse hat. He says, when you're done walking around, come back over. I'll have a hat for you. Now, I assumed he was just joking, okay? But so I walked around campus for a little while. I went over to the stadium. I was able to put my FSU beanie on so I could represent a little bit. And when I came back to leave, sure enough, he had a Syracuse hat waiting for me. And then we started talking. Now, what I thought would be a quick 2-minute conversation quickly turned into us talking for 15, 20, and eventually about 30, 45 minutes. It honestly just felt like we were best friends, sitting around there talking about sports, about family, about our lives. I would have loved to stay there talking with him all day if I could have, but I had a long drive ahead of me, and I had to hit the road. But during the course of us talking, now cars kept pulling into the garage. And what really stood out to me was watching these drivers' faces. Now you could see as they pulled up, you could see their expressions change as soon as they saw him. They'd get these big smiles. They'd have these friendly conversations. It was just an amazing energy. And it was very clear that this guy was well loved. All right. And the fact that other people around the campus had already told me to go and see this guy made it very clear how truly amazing this guy was and how everybody around campus seems to know it. Now, I am in and out of parking garages pretty regularly, and honestly, now I have never seen somebody with the spirit and energy that Cantrell had. Now, most of the time, those interactions, they are purely transactional. Right? They take the money, they open up the gate, they give you the parking pass, they welcome the next car in. Now, that's it. There's very little connection. There's very little, if any, engagement. There's no experience at all. But here now, Cantrell completely flipped that. Now, he turned a transaction into a customer experience moment. He turned a parking garage into a welcome experience. And when you think about it now, this role is incredibly important. Because very often now, this is the very first employee somebody encounters when coming to your business or here coming to the campus. Maybe it's coming to your event. And many times, it's the very last employee that they see when they leave. So imagine starting and ending your experience with someone like that, all right? Somebody that is welcoming, someone that is genuinely happy to see you, someone that is excited to be there. That energy is very contagious. And while you can't spend 30 minutes talking with every person that comes through, but this was such a powerful reminder of what is possible when we truly focus on the human component of the experience. Because what really made this even more interesting is, now I was up there to speak at a conference focused entirely on technology and automation and AI. And now those presentations were fantastic. Most of it went over my head. Okay, but the most memorable experience that I had on the entire trip, and honestly, the most memorable customer experience I think I have had in a very long time, was with Cantrell there at the parking garage. Now here, this was somebody who understood the power of a smile, the power of energy, the power of human connection. And if I were in a position to hire somebody, now I would love to hire this guy in an instant. Okay, because here is the reality. Now you can teach almost anybody the mechanics of any job out there. You can teach them the systems, you can teach them the processes, and you can teach them how to do the tasks. But you cannot teach that energy. You cannot teach that warmth, that authenticity. All right, you can't teach the genuine care for people. Now, that is something you either have or you don't. And Cantrell did. Now, he was full of kindness, he was full of positivity, he was full of genuine interest in others. And it's something that has really stuck with me, okay? Because those small moments, those quick interactions, they truly have the power to lift somebody's spirits, to create smiles, and to completely change somebody's day. And it's sometimes those behaviors, those moments that take somebody that maybe would purchase from you one time and can turn them into a lifelong advocate of your brand. So now here's what we can take away from this and apply it in our business. And this doesn't matter if you are a leader or you are a frontline employee. Now, I don't care what role you have. All right, even the most transactional of roles can positively or negatively shape the experience. Okay, your energy is contagious. Human connection still matters and always will matter. One employee can really define the brand. All right, customer experience, it happens everywhere. And now if you are a leader, hire for attitude, okay, and then train for the skills. Because again, the mechanics of a job can be taught. But that mindset, the positivity, the warmth, and the energy, that's who somebody is. And if I could build an entire company full of people like Cantrell, that would be a very, very successful company. Now, I hope that you found this video to be helpful. You can find additional customer service resources at www.snowassociates.com. And I'm also linking to another video right here that I think you'll find to be very beneficial. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.